Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Thursday, April 25th, 2019, 5:51 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So I just want to do a short follow-up on my reporting on the Oroville Dam last night. I got a comment from Oroville Dam Watch Group, who I subscribed to their channel a few days ago when I found them, and they said, "Great reporting, power to the truth." And I thought that was just awesome. And apparently, well, this guy Marty D'Angelo, who put this group together, here's his YouTube channel, and he does pretty much daily updates on what's going on over there. And here's the daily update that he recorded this morning, and it's just short. It's like 4 minutes, but watch this. He searches he searches on YouTube for other reporting, and he's found my video from last night.
April 25th. It's a beautiful day in Oroville today. The lake level continues to rise as we're 25 feet from the emergency spillway. We just want to thank everyone for getting the news out about the Oroville Dam situation. No matter how big or how small your channel is, we're constantly searching out other people who are trying to share this information and commenting on their channel. And here's a video I ran across last night.
There are only a couple of places on YouTube that are reporting on it, and Juan Brown is tagging those as fake news. So this is not fake news. This is reporting on what's going on, and there's a lot of secrecy around it.
So there's a lot of controversy about exactly what is wrong with the main spillway right now. And
isn't that cool? So he saw my video and put it up there, so I thought that was just awesome. So thanks, Marty, I appreciate that. And this is a good website if people want to keep up with what's going on there. They're actually he's creating a website besides this YouTube channel, and where they're going to be posting more stuff about what's going on. They're also going to, around May 1st, a whole group of them, a whole team, are going to go out there to the Oroville Dam. I think he lives in the area, and they're going to be filming and reporting on everything and about the lake level rise, because this is serious. And also in the description box underneath all of his videos, he has links to other YouTube channels who are also reporting on it. So a bunch of comments. So anyway, I'll put a link below in the show notes, and to his YouTube channel if you're interested in keeping up with what's going on. So I mean, you can see there's something just not right with that spillway. And the little water that's coming through the gates, they've got it cordoned off to where it's only going down that one side. Here's the top. Here's the top of the spillway. This is the rebuilt spillway, and they've got it where it's only going down that one side. So anyway, and one other thing while we're at it, here's where I'm tracking the lake level. This is on the California website, Department of Water Resources, and this is the real-time tracking. And the last data that they had was from 3 o'clock, and it was 876.79 feet. And here it is, almost 6 o'clock, so we should have had 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock put up. And when you do that, something messed up. So the website's down. So, and when you go to their main page, go to Query Tools, you go to Real Time, see? So, their website is down. We can't even see right now for even for daily or for monthly. It's all messed up right now. But I have been manually logging in the numbers, and the reason I'm tracking all of this is because I only live about 90 miles away in the Reno area, and so this is practically in my backyard. I'm on the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains, so more than likely there won't be flooding up where I live, but but it will affect me because and everybody here, because people from California will be coming over if they can get out in time. And I apologize for me having to clear my throat. My regular viewers know that I have horrendous allergies, and it's a heroic effort that I'm doing just to keep up, just to do a daily report for anything. 876. We're 876.79 as of 3 p.m. this afternoon. Now at midnight, okay, 876.79. No, someone tried to leave a nasty comment about how he didn't appreciate hearing me clear my voice and why didn't I use a mute button and all this crap. And it's like, well, that just got someone blocked. I'm not going to put up with that crap. If they think they can do it better, they can sure do it. So since midnight, it's gone up almost a foot by 3 o'clock. It's over a foot. It's just over a foot because they haven't reported 4 and 5 o'clock. So at 3 o'clock it was at 0.97. And yesterday, from midnight to midnight, it went up 1.31 feet. And from this time, or from 3 o'clock yesterday to 3 o'clock today, see, I've got all the numbers. It's really easy because the way I've got it just logged in. 876.79 minus at 3 o'clock yesterday was 875.33. 1.46. It's almost 1.5 feet. And it's releasing, there's more flow. See, it's in the it's over 22,000 cubic feet per second coming in, and it's going out under 10,000 feet per second. So there's that. So I have a couple of news items that I want to share with everybody. The first one, well, I guess I'll share this other one, the sad one, first. This is one that is going viral in the climate change groups because it has to do with the penguins in Antarctica. And it is sad, and they're going the way of the dodo bird, like we're all going. This is out of the BBC. This is from today, and it says, Antarctica, thousands of emperor penguin chicks wiped out. and we can see the penguins on the ice, and where it's melting, and it's not thick enough for them. And it says thousands of emperor penguin chicks drowned when the sea ice on which they were being raised was destroyed in severe weather. The catastrophe occurred in 2016 in Antarctica's Weddell Sea. So this happened 3 years ago. Scientists say the colony at the edge of the Brunt ice shelf has collapsed, with adult birds showing no sign of trying to reestablish the population. Well, they know. They know it would be pointless. It would probably be pointless for them to try, as a giant iceberg is about to disrupt the site. And then on and on. But this is a really good picture of that Brunt ice shelf from the Antarctic. Here it is, and here's one of the cracks. This is the chasm crack that's coming up. There's another one, the Halloween crack, that's going this way, and here's where the penguin colony was. They were right on the edge, and so apparently the storm came and wiped them out. And here was where that research center was, the Halley Research Center at 2016. They had to keep moving it because of the cracks and everything. And then remember, I did an article recently where they had to airlift everybody out of the research station, and they left all their equipment and everything because this crack was coming and they just didn't know when. So they say in this article they can tell when where penguins are, because this brown stuff on the ice is their feces. And when there's no feces, you know there's no penguins. And depending on how big a spot the feces is, you can estimate the size of the colony. They say, but the Brunt population, which had sustained an average of 14,000 to 15,000 breeding pairs for several decades, and it was 5 to 9% of the global population, essentially disappeared overnight. So this was, this is 2015, where you can see the guano stains from space. And the emperors are the tallest and heaviest of the penguin species and need reliable patches of sea ice on which to breed. And this icy platform must persist from April, when the birds arrive, until December, when their chicks fledge. If the sea ice breaks up too early, the young birds will not have the right feathers to start swimming. This appears to have been what happened in 2016. So they all drowned. There's some more of them. So that's sad. And whenever you talk about penguins and stuff, or polar bears, penguins and polar bears, that's like a human interest story. And there they are with their little baby. Says this chasm will eventually calve an iceberg the size of Greater London into the Weddell Sea, and any sea ice stuck to the berg's edge may break up in the process. The colony could have been doomed regardless of what happened in 2016. Well, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, I hate to be glib about it, but that's just the way it is. So there's that. And that's everybody in the climate change community is, this story has just gone viral. So I thought I'd share that. Then, on a different note, this is from New Scientist. NASA's InSight lander on Mars has felt its first Mars quakes. And this has been in the news. They're feeling quakes on Mars. They're not earthquakes, they're called Mars quakes. This is from April 23rd. Mars is shaking. NASA's InSight lander has detected its first Mars quake, a rumbling from the planet's interior, and it may have felt 3 more. These quakes could help us learn how much water is hiding deep within the planet. InSight landed on Mars in November 2018, and in December it placed a seismometer on the surface to monitor for quakes. On April 6th, it felt the ground shake for the first time. Mars quakes could eventually teach us about the red planet's deep interior, including what its mantle, crust, and core are made of and the thickness of each layer. The seismometer is as sensitive as the best instruments we use on Earth and can detect shifts in the ground of less than the thickness of an atom. Whoa. I wonder if USGS are using those. The April 6th quake was very small, so it didn't provide much insight into the Martian interior. In the best station on the Earth, a station which is in a seismic vault deep down, you might be able to detect this quake. The measurement gave us some basic information about how Mars quakes compare to earthquakes. The first surprise we got with the Mars quake is that it had more similarity to a moonquake than an earthquake. On Earth, the duration of the signal is a few minutes. On the Moon, it's closer to an hour, and on Mars, it's around 10 minutes. That's because the rocks on Earth are full of water, which absorbs the shock of seismic activity better than dry ground, shortening the signal. The first Mars quake we've detected indicates that the shallow subsurface of Mars does not have much water, far less than Earth, but it's not quite as dry as the Moon. InSight also detected 3 even smaller seismic signals in March and April, so weak that even the best detector on Earth would never have been able to spot them. One of these signals may be from wind jostling the seismometer above ground, but the other 2 seem to be either from Mars quakes or from the ground shaking slightly as meteorites hit the surface. So there's that. So, I want to close some of these out. So, speaking of Mars quakes, let's go to earthquakes now and see what's going on. I have USGS pulled up here for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours, and we're showing 271 earthquakes. Of those, 36 of them are 2.5 magnitude and higher. So let's see what's about to come off the map. This was from last night at 6:34, this 4.7 near Tobelo, Indonesia. Here's a 2.7 Koktovik, Alaska, 2.6 Kodiak Station, Alaska, 2.5 Valhalla, Hawaii. Okay, so let's start over here. In the South Pacific, we're going to start with this small one of 4.7 near Kira Solomon Islands. This one happened today at 4:41 this afternoon. Right there on the island. Now that's probably not big enough to do damage, but you could feel it. Here's a 5.0 at Kokopo, Papua New Guinea at 9:45 this morning, 108 kilometers deep. Now that could have caused damage if people were nearby. Here is a 5.3 near Luwuk, Indonesia. This happened at 2:57 this afternoon. Here's a 4.7. That's the one at near Tobelo at 6:34 yesterday afternoon. Here's a 4.8 near Kinabangan, Philippines at 4:02 this morning, 73 kilometers deep. That was right on the coast, so they probably felt that. Now let's come around to what's on land. Here's a 4.5 near Malak, Burma at 4:37 this afternoon. And here's one in Iran, a 4.4 near Kerman, Iran at 8:03 this morning. Now coming on around. Okay, there's nothing else on the West Pacific. Now in the South Atlantic, we've got two on this red line near the Antarctic. Got a 5.1 at 4:42 this morning and a 4.6 at 8:15 this morning, both near Bristol Island, South Sandwich Islands. So that's an active area. And that's all of the international ones. So now let's peek at Hawaii. It's picking up. It's got 11 here today. So 2.1 near Mauna Loa at a minus 1.8 kilometer depth. 2.5 Pahala, 1.8 Lalani Estates, 1.8 Pahala, 2.5, that's at Kilauea, 1.9 Lalani Estates, 2.8 near Volcano, 1.8 Mauna Loa, 1.8 Waimea, 2.8 at Volcano, and 1.8 at Kilauea. So the largest was, well, that 2.8 it looks like. We had a couple of 2.8s, then a 2.5, couple of 2.5s. So those are betting up there in the magnitude. And now at Dominican Republic, we've got 13 here today. I'll just call them off. 2.0, 1.8, 2.6, 3.3, 2.9, 2.3, 2.8, 2.9, 3.2, 2.6, 2.9, 3.2, and 3.1. So this 3.2 was on land. That's big enough to feel, but probably didn't cause any damage. Now let's move on up to Alaska. We've got 87 on the map today for all magnitudes. Let's see how many of those are 2.5 magnitude and higher. Got 11. So we're going to start down here. So 4.0 near Tanaga volcano. 2.8 Adak. 2.9 Chiricahua Island. 2.6 Kodiak Station. 2.5 Larsen Bay. 2.5 Anchorage. 2.5 Big Lake. 3.1 Big Lake. 2.9 North Nenana. Here's the 3.5 at Kobuk. 2.7 Koktovik. So we've got some smaller ones in these Aleutian Islands. We can see they're really, this is picking up. See all these small ones up here? Now this is all volcanoes. They're not all active, but I've been reporting on earthquakes since December of last year, and I've not seen them like this since I've been doing it. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen like this, but these are some microquakes like this minus 0.2, this little tiny one at Adak. Here's a 0.4 and a 1.0. So we're used to seeing some larger ones here, but not the small ones. Here's a 0.9 and a 0.7 at Nikolsky. Here's a 1.4 at False Pass. Now we're coming on up. Here's a 1.3 Chignik Lake. Here's Kodiak, and here's a little grouping. 3 right there. These are all part of the Larsen Bay. Here's a 2.1, 2.6. So we're seeing more of them than coming down that Aleutian Island chain. And now they're peppered around going up the center of the state. And let's see how many are at Kobuk today. There are 27 here today. And a lot of them are at the surface level at 0 level depth. But there are some that are deep. Or, I mean, not hugely deep, but 6 kilometers, and so forth. Here's a one on the coast over here, 1.1 near Kotzebue, Alaska at 4:21 this morning. Here's one in the Bering Strait, 1.8 off of Nome, Alaska. It's in the ocean, but the reporting station is Nome. This happened at 5:17 this morning at 0 kilometers depth. Here's a 1.7 a la coquette, and so on. This is the Alaska range of mountains. We can see them, how they curve around on those. Now let's come down to the lower 48. Look, nothing over here on the east. Here's 1 in the New Madrid zone, 1.4 near Lilburn, Missouri at 7:58 last night. This looks kind of quiet. Here up in Utah, we've got 1 of 1.5 at Beaver, Utah. Here at Yellowstone, we've got 2 right on top of each other, a 0.5 and a 0.3 near West Yellowstone, Montana. And nothing is being reported in the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't mean they're not having activity. If we look at the real-time tremor map, in the last 12 hours, they've had 3.1 hours of tremors. And we can see that now it's picking up down here by Portland. And for the last 24 hours, there have been 8.9 hours of tremors. And so it's in this grouping. Here's Vancouver Island. Here's just west of Tacoma. Here's just west of and southwest of Portland. And then there's a little cluster southwest of Eugene, Oregon. So now they're moving around. And then we've got a couple of tremors down here. This is where Petrolia is, down here. And then there's Redding. So even though we're not seeing any earthquakes on the map here, there is movement going on. So let's start with the geysers today. We're showing 26 on the map. And let's see how many, what's over here is 2.5 magnitude or higher. Biggs, here's a 2.6 at Biggs, California. Okay. Oh, that's not too far from Oroville. And a 2.8 at Onsa. That's down by Kauai. Okay, so we'll look at those in a second. So here's 26 at the geysers. They're ones and under. 1.8 it looks like was the biggest one. Now, here we go. There are 2 to the west of Oroville, and here's the dam right here. When we blow this up, the dam is right here. Here's the reservoir. So we see 2. Here's a 1.5 near Durham, California. This came in at 4:47 this afternoon, 35 kilometers depth. And a 2.6 near Biggs, California at same time, 4:47, 16 seconds apart. 4:47 this afternoon at 0.5 kilometers depth. So when we have 2 come in like that at the same time, there's something that triggered those. And it's interesting that they went, so that was at 4:47, and the last report that we have from the dam was at 3 o'clock. Let's see if it's working. No. So it makes me wonder if something's going on over there. It's not that far. It's not that far from Biggs. This one at Biggs and over to Oroville. Anyway, moving on. Here's one, 1.9 near Susanville. Here's a 0.6 near Truckee. We've got a cluster up here at Cold Springs. We've got 5. We've got a 0.1, 0.7, minus 0.4, 0.5, and minus 0.5. Reno's clear, Sparks is clear, Lake Tahoe's clear, Pyramid Lake is clear. Northern Nevada is clear. Here's 0.7, a little tiny one in the Hawthorne area. Here's some down in southern Nevada. We've got about 12 or 13 on the map here. They're not very big. They're like 1s and under, and even under 1. Not very big. Here's a 1.0 near Nellis Air Force Base at 11:54. And an explosion! A 0.6 magnitude explosion at 22 kilometers northeast of Nellis Air Force Base. This one happened at 10:15 this morning. Then this 1.0 earthquake happened at 11:54 this morning. So they had an explosion. What can I say? Okay, let's come down this east side of California. Here's a 1.3 Smith Valley. Let's zoom in on Mammoth Lake. We've got, how many here? 5 here today. These are all small, very small, under 1. Under 1s. Here's a minus 0.3, so that's a microquake near Beatty. Here's the Coso Junction area. We've got 9 here today. Here's a 1.8 at Bodfish. Not seeing it on the map. Oh, it's probably down. Oh, it's over here. I don't want that one on my map. I just want Coso Junction. 6. Little Lake in Coso Junction. 6 here. 1.4 is the largest one. Then here's a 0.9 Lake Isabella. Here's 3 at Bodfish. 1.0, 1.4, and 1.8. Here's a 1.4 Arvin, 1.0 Nenock. Here's a 1.4 magnitude quarry blast at Mojave at 12:01 this afternoon. So they're blasting. Here's another blast, 1.6 magnitude quarry blast near Apple Valley at 1:03 this afternoon. So I'm certain all the blasting causes movement. Here's a 1.1 magnitude quarry blast near Chula Vista. So in Southern California, we're seeing 65 here today. So that's an uptick in the number. Definitely. So we're seeing more clustered here at Kauai and over here in that area. Here's a 2.2 Pedley. So Here's the 2.3 onza. Where was that 2.6? 2.8, there it is, at onza. Here's a 2.1 La Quinta, and we're seeing more clustering here at Kauai. So definitely an uptick in activity. Here's some more blasts. Here's a 0.8 quarry blast at Paris, California at 11:02 this morning. Here's a 0.9 quarry blast near Home Gardens at 1:42 this afternoon. So they're blasting. They're definitely blasting. 1.7 Olivos, 1.0 San Ardo, now coming up the San Andreas fault line. 1.1 Pinnacles, now this one's coming off the map. 0.3 San Juan Bautista. Here's another quarry blast, a 1.5 magnitude near Aromas at 11:09 this morning, right on that San Andreas fault line. You think that's not doing anything? Look at that. That fault line goes right down through the Southern California area. And it goes up. Here 1.4 Alum Rock. And there's the geysers. I think that's a wrap. Unless something came in. We saw that. So we got Tanaga, we got Biggs, California. We got Kira Kira and Burma. We got all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this evening. And I do believe we are in the end times. And that if you've not done so yet, you need to get your spiritual houses in order. Because time is very short. So until next time, God bless you, go in peace, and goodbye.